Hello ladies and gentlemen, in this video I'll be giving you a quick tutorial on our Abuela Invents the Zero assignment by Judith Kofer Ortiz. As always, we want to do a good job of reading and following the instructions, so let's go through them all. First, we need to read the essential question, so I could stop and do that right now. The essential question is, what is the most influential value in decision making? But it says we also need to read the ACE questions below. We do not want to answer them yet, we're just reading them. Our first question is, why was Connie embarrassed of Abuela? Our next question, what does Mama seem to value the most? And our third question, what does Abuela seem to value the most? After we do that, we want to look up the synonyms of each underlined word in the text below and add the synonym as a comment. So the text is down here, starting on page 2, and it ends on page 4. And we want to go through, find each of the underlined words throughout the text, and we want to find the synonym and add this synonym as a comment. If you forgot how to do that, click on this link right here, where you'll be provided with a tutorial video that shows you how to find the synonym and how to add the synonym as an annotation. Third, we want to read the text on page 2 in its entirety. So starting on page 2, we're going to start reading the text all the way through. And as we are reading, we want to highlight your textual evidence in yellow. Remember, you want to do that as you're reading. So let me give you an example of how that will look. If I start off in paragraph 1, you made me feel like a zero, like a nothing, she says in Spanish, un cero, nada. She is trembling, an angry, little old woman lost in a heavy winter coat that belongs to my mother. And I end up being sent to my room like I was a child to think about my grandmother's idea of math. Okay, after that, I'd stop. We need to figure out who's speaking. It sounds like this is probably Abuela, right? Who's saying, you made me feel like a zero, like a nothing, un cero, nada. And it says, how do we know that this is probably Abuela? Well, it says she's an angry little old woman, right? Abuela means grandmother in Spanish, angry little old woman, right? So what I can do is I can highlight this in yellow because this answers one of our questions. And what question is that? This answers the question, what does Abuela seem to value the most? Well, clearly she values respect. If you make her feel like nothing, she is going to speak out on it and she'll turn into an angry little old woman. So she definitely values respect. Okay. Next, we could go to paragraph 2. It all began with Abuela coming up from the island for a visit, her first time to the United States. Okay, we could highlight that in yellow. If she's coming up to visit her family, she must value family, right? And the question that we're looking at is, what does Abuela seem to value the most? So she must value family. It says, my mother and father paid her way here so that she wouldn't die without seeing snow. Though if you ask me, and nobody has, the dirty slush in this city is not worth the price of a ticket. Okay, so even though in the narrator's opinion, the snow is ugly and everything, uh, Abuela still wants to visit her family because she values family that much. It says, but I guess she deserves some kind of award for having had 10 kids and survived to tell about it. My mother is the youngest of the bunch. Right up to the time when we're supposed to pick up the old lady at the airport, my mother is telling me stories about how hard times were for La Familia en La Isla and how La Abuela worked night and day to support them after their father had died of a heart attack. Okay? This is more proof, and I would just highlight it from here, but this is more proof that Abuela values family. It says, I'd die of a heart attack too if I had a trip like that to support. Anyways, I'd only seen her 3 or 4 times in my entire life whenever we would go for somebody's funeral. I was born here and I lived in this building all my life. But when mommy says, Connie, please be nice to Abuela. She doesn't have too many years left. Do you promise me, Constancia? If she uses my full name, I know she means business. So I say, sure. Why wouldn't I be nice? I'm not a monster after all. Okay? That's just to show you how you want to highlight your evidence as you're going through your text. After that, you want to answer the questions using ACE color coding, and then finally check your work and submit it on Google Classroom. As always, if you have any questions or concerns, please reach out to me and I'll try to answer them.